Hey Duck fam, welcome to the channel. My name is Tim and this is the Ducati Dads. Now in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2025 Multistrada
I never
V2S.
answer to no, man, I still go.
We're over here at SoSo Cycles, which we want to give a huge shout out to for allowing us the opportunity to ride these bikes and bring you this amazing content. So if you're in the market for a new motorcycle, whether it's a BMW Triumph or of course a Ducati, stop on in over here at SoSo Cycles in Tacoma, Washington. Okay, now today we have some amazing weather that's perfect for this review. Hey, we're diving into the 2025 Ducati Multistrada V2, the ultimate middleweight machine that is built to tackle the road. All right, so in this video, we're gonna be covering specs, hitting the streets, and getting the lowdown on the new tech from SoSo's Devin. Plus, we're gonna cover some crazy facts about this bike and why it's replacing the Multistrada 950. Let's talk about that. All right, now, you might be wondering why I've got a Panigale V2 right next to the Multistrada V2. Well, both bikes share the same heart. Now, they're also tooled differently. The Panigale is obviously designed to go fast and be a track weapon, while the Multistrada V2 is designed to conquer the streets. This 890cc V-twin engine produces right around 120 horsepower on the Panigale. Now on the V2, it's supposed to be detuned a little bit due to gearing to right around 115. Okay, now pictures don't do this bike justice. It's got presence, it's got stance, the LED headlights look amazing, and everything has got function on this bike. There's very little that is on this bike that is just for look. There's vents, functional vents everywhere for bringing in air, redirecting air. Even right around the turn signal right here, there's a vent. Got this big radiator, 19-inch front wheel. And in the back, we got a 17-inch. Now this bike is set up so that it can be equipped with bags. So this thing is set up perfectly. All right, as you can tell, I'm inside SoSo with Devin. We're gonna go over some of the new tech and his personal experience with this bike.
On the Multi, so I also had the chance to ride this bike for, again, probably around like a little bit less than 100 miles on this. And at heart, I'm a big sport bike guy. So whenever I get on bikes like this, I'm like, oh, this is a bigger bike. It can't perform the way that I want it to. And I was completely wrong. The Multistrada is sharing the same motor as the new V2. So it is that spring valve. It's not gonna be the Desmo valves. So this is one, a very smooth running bike, but also its performance is very on par. I was able to go into corners with a lot of confidence. It's just like I would say on the Panigale, it's a confident, inspiring bike. Even in like situations where I probably shouldn't have as much confidence as I do. And it handles everything that I threw at it that was on road extremely well, a lot better than I thought it would. Even with having a larger front tire, right? We don't really look at those as being conducive to good tip-ins, to good handling, but that is not the case of what I felt on this Multistrada at all when I was riding it. I rode the Pani first, then jumped to the Multi, and what I liked was, if we look at the dash, I really liked how similar it is. It was very easy for me to go from one to the other and not feel lost and feel like I'm having to learn a whole new ecosystem. Even if we change the mode and let's just go down to touring.
Look at how clean that dash is. And one of the things I noticed was the Multistrada was one of the first Ducatis back in 2015 to get a TFT display.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
this is so clear.
it's amazing, and I really like how easy it is for me to use, along with just at home it feels going from one to the other. So I like what Ducati's doing here on these dashes. It's easy, it's simple, but yet you do have a lot of information in there that you can really grab from. So if you're that person who's looking to have information on their ride, who's looking to see, you know, what am I doing? When is my ABS or my traction control, my wheelie control, when is it kicking on? These bikes allow you to see all of that.
And now you can completely tune this suspension on the Multistrada S. It's got the electronic suspension, and you can do all that right here in the dash.
You can do it all through the dash. You can do it all through the dash, which is really, really nice. Not only that though, when it comes to the Multi, what I like is, but with this new motor, since they're able to shave so much weight, this is now a way lighter bike than what they used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe that is the route that most manufacturers are really going for now too, is like, how do we shave weight, shave weight, shave weight, shave weight? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people, whether you're racing or whatnot, the first thing you notice when you get on a bike is how heavy is it? How does it feel? Does this make, if it's lighter, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna enjoy it for longer.
And this is actually one of the lightest engines that Ducati has released, coming out at 120 pounds.
Yeah, and it's actually ridiculous. When I was doing my training, they had like the engine on the stand and everything, and like we were going over there, kind of like fiddling with it, looking at it and everything, and I was like, that's crazy. I can just pick this thing up and walk away with it.
Right.
And like, it's not tiring. You don't think about that when you think of an engine. You think,
Oh,
like, oh,
no.
this is burly, it's heavy, it's hard. It's not.
Yeah. But new tech, completely customizable suspension. Obviously, it's a multi, so cruise control is going to be a pretty standard feature,
Yes,
but also heated grips.
heated grips.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's right. You got the quick.
So this is
button.
the quick adjustment for your suspension
Yes.
right here. I don't believe that these are
this
the heated.
particular bike.
Yep. And then right here, we can go do
Oh yeah, look at how clean
dynamic,
that switch
comfort,
gear is.
low grip. It's pretty nice. If
Yeah.
I tab over, you can change for the sag,
Oh,
depending on if it's just you riding, if it's you riding with a passenger, you with baggage, passenger with baggage.
or auto leveling.
Yeah, so the bike knows and it goes off of the weight and it won't let the rear sag too much, bounce too much. It's gonna help it feel more consistent, and it's also gonna help and be more, it's gonna be better for a smoother ride for you and your passenger, or
Right.
just for yourself if you have bags and luggage and you're going out camping and whatnot.
So smart.
Mhm.
And yeah,
And it's so easy to use, just all right here.
yeah. Quick button. Let me get a good view of that real quick. Right there, that cute little shock absorber
Yeah.
button. Now, is there any other features that stand out to you that separates this bike from the old V2?
Come down and ride them both, because I have them both, and you'll see. A lot
Yeah.
of it's gonna come down to the feel. A lot of it to me is 100% feel. I can go on and on about how the dash is easier to use, how it's the suspension, the upgrades there, or maybe go on about how your combi switches now are super easy to use on the fly, right? But I think the biggest, the ergonomics of the bike has jumped. But I think the biggest thing is the feel. Because again, I've ridden the V2s, 959s, I own the 899. When I got on that, and when I got on this, it felt like a Ducati, but it was so unbelievably smooth. So crazy smooth. So I think the biggest thing when it comes to these is any hesitation that people have, my go-to is, well, have you ridden it yet? And then also, how fast are you? Let's be real.
Yeah.
Because if you're as fast as you say you are, right, then you should be getting paid to do what you do, right? You should be on the track getting paid.
Exactly.
Most of us, I know myself, I cannot make use of all 120 or 110, 115 horsepower of this bike. In a straight line, sure, anyone can.
Oh yeah.
But I was just so unbelievably shocked at how well this bike performs on corners, on just all of that. And I love the styling aspect. The beak, on whether you're looking at the new V4, right, 2025, or the new V2. Beak's a little bit smaller, it's gonna be more aggressive. Headlight-wise, they're still going for that aggressive, sporty look, right? And I think they're captivating it really, really well.
This thing just, the looks. I wasn't a big fan of it before, but it's really, really growing on me. I like it. So if you're in the Washington area and you want to come look at a Ducati, BMW, Triumph, stop on in to SoSo Cycles, ask for Devin or any of the other sales representatives here. They're all great.
We'll be happy to help out and everything.
But that's going to conclude our tech talk on the 2025 Multistrada V2S. I'm going to take it out on the road. We're going to go and talk more about this bike while we're on it. I'm going to go get geared up and we'll take it for a spin. Right. Here we go. We're going to dip this bike around right here in the parking lot, just a little bit. Now I can already tell how light this bike is. Now, according to the website, this bike weighs in right around between 460-ish pounds to 480 pounds, and I'm assuming that that's because depending on how you equip this bike, you're gonna have saddlebags on it, or you could have it just bare like I have it right now. But this thing feels very, very light. This particular bike has got 7 miles on it. So it's not even broken in. So I'm gonna take it easy, respect the bike, respect my relationship with SoSo, and we're going to just mosey on around. Now this quick shifter already, buttery smooth. Buttery smooth. All right, now we've also got brand new tires, 7 miles. But interesting fact, the new 890 V-twin engine is the lightest engine that Ducati's ever made, at 120 pounds. That's insane. And now that right there really aids in, obviously, how light this bike is. And with adjustable there's a windscreen. This is something I'm not used to because I've got my V4 Street Fighter. I'm not used to this. I mean, this is nice. And now the ergonomics on this bike are incredible. Now, I know I've only spent a couple minutes on it, but I fell right in, like, I feel like I'm right at home sitting here with everything. This thing is nice. Ooh, the exhaust has got some little burbles to it. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna go and open it up. I know it's got plenty of power for what it's doing. But one thing that I can tell you is this bike is very easy to just sit and mosey on through. And going through those twisties back there, this thing felt right at home. Now, this switchgear is new. A lot of the older, like the older generation V2 models, did not have really nice control surfaces, like the switchgear. This new 15-inch TFT display is super easy to read. Everything's bright, and with how they've set up the control modes here, ooh, look at that. You can set up have all your interventions over there. Plus, you can see your active horsepower and torque percentages. Let's play with that a little bit. Now, I do gotta say, this thing would really benefit from a proper, like, open exhaust system without catalytic converters. Now the majority of this bike's torque is down lower. Like, oh yeah. I feel like I could ride this thing all day long. I really do. This thing is so good. Yeah, look at that. I'm cracking the throttle right there, and we're right at 29% torque. Oh, look, all the pertinent information is right there. I mean, do you really need to know how much horsepower the horsepower percentage is? No, you don't. But it's cool. A lot of other manufacturers go and do that too. Oh boy, what is going on? Whoa! Oh, it's got the personality in the exhaust like the other V2s. Just test out the horn. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and look at our rider modes. So you got a wet, an enduro, an urban, a touring, and a sport mode. Look at that. We're at 20 miles an hour in third gear. And look. Yeah, this thing is no slouch. But we're going to go ahead and hop off. And we're going to take another look and talk about some more of the specs. Okay, so let's take a quick listen to the exhaust system here. Me personally, I prefer this to be just a smidge louder. All right, yeah, no, I really got to say that the look of this bike is amazing. From all the fairings, the beak-like front, just how the air moves around this bike, it keeps it off of you, especially with this adjustable front windshield. So now, an interesting fact about the Ducati Multistrada line is that it was inspired by the 1980s Cargia Elefant, a rally bike. All right, so now, why did Ducati go and launch the Multistrada V2 line? Let's talk about that. All right, so now the V2 takes over the old Multistrada 950 with the 937cc Desmodromic engine. Now, this bike here has got conventional valves. I mean, it's always the elephant in the room, the Desmo services and just the overall Ducati maintenance. But with this new engine, it also is Euro 5 compliant, which is huge for Ducati, as well as your service intervals are less with the standard valve train. But I can tell you that this thing still has the Ducati spirit and personality. So now, an interesting fact about the Port of Tacoma is that it handles over $70 billion in trade yearly connected to the world. Ooh, that is a cool startup graphic. And I love the new bike smell. Oh, that's cool. All right, so now let's look at some pros and cons. Well, the first pro is just how nimble and agile this bike is. It's super light and easy, super easy to flick around. Like right here in this business park, this thing is just, it's so flickable. And that is due to some changes to the suspension setup, a lighter engine, and then we gotta talk about the technology package. A lot of the technology was pulled for this generation was pulled from the last generation V4s, and you literally, like, you can go through here and change all of your settings on the fly, like that, right there. You can change your power, like that, and all your other settings. And then this also comes with cruise control. Another pro that after riding this bike that I got to give, and I rode the old generation V2, is this engine is super smooth and linear. Having ridden multiple bikes with the 937cc old V-twin, this engine feels, and this is a feel, it feels smoother when you get onto the power, which for an adventure bike is crucial to be able to control the power going to the ground. I mean, we're talking about wanting to hit dirt. We don't want to just be a pavement princess. We also want to go off-road. We want to know that we can go anywhere with our adventure bike. And that's not a knock on the old ones. The old ones are great. But now, the cons. And right off the bat, I gotta say that probably the biggest con for most Ducatisti will be the change in engine and the less power. It's like 30 plus horsepower difference. But I do believe that Ducati did a really good job going in, taking this engine, and even with the less power, it's lighter, and the torque is right where you want it to be. You don't have to wind the engine up to get to the power. It's right there, right around 3,000 RPM. I would love to spend more time with this bike and really be able to feel it out more. However, like I said, I don't want to put too many miles on this. That way, the next owner will get a brand new bike. Now, this adaptive suspension is so good. It's so good. Oh man, look at all these bikes out here today. Another con would be the price point. At the price point of this bike, and I'll put it up on screen, it could be seen as a premium, and that could be quite a turnoff or a deterrent. But I can tell you that with the technology that you get in this bike, the platform, the capabilities, that's a pretty good deal. All right, so I'm gonna head on back over to SoSo, and we're gonna go ahead and talk. I'll give you my final thoughts. Here's my final thoughts. The 2025 Multistrada V2 is a middleweight masterpiece. It's lighter, smarter, and ready for any road. Ducati nailed the balance of sport and adventure. If you want a do-it-all bike with Italian soul, this is it. If you're on the fence between the V2 or V4, the V2S starts out at $19,295, weighs 439 pounds, has 115 horsepower, and offers cruise control and 5 rider modes. The V4S comes in at $21,495, weighs only 487 pounds, pumps out 170 horsepower, comes with adaptive cruise, blind spot monitoring, and predictive suspension. So that's gonna do it for this video on the 2025 Multistrada V2. Now, if you enjoyed that video, click the like button, consider subscribing, drop your thoughts down below, and until next time, we'll catch you on the next ride.